Well, hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. This video is coming to you from the 1.49 dev server. I didn't get much time on it, but I decided I wanted to feature two machines that I'm pretty excited for, that were on the test. I didn't see like the Leopard or anything like that. It may not even be in there. The first one here is the SU-122-54, which I'm pretty stoked about, and there's a few reasons. The second machine is the T95, so stick around. We have some T95 gameplay coming. But this is just me driving around in the test drive mode. And the interesting thing to me about the SU-122-54 is that it's a 122mm armed tank destroyer, which is kind of what I want. And it's low profile, it's sneaky, it has upgraded armor, and it just seems like it's going to be more effective than the SU-122P, the SU-100, and definitely the ISU, all the ISUs. This tank destroyer has an 8.0 battle rating on the dev server, so it'll probably stay that way. It doesn't have the standard 122mm gun. I didn't get the chance to look at specifically which gun it has or really analyze that, but it should be, I believe, an upgraded version of the D25T. So that'll be nice. But the 122mm D25T is enough at the 8.0 battle rating with the right ammunition. And obviously I couldn't really see, again, this was very quick. I didn't get a chance to look at the ammunition types, but suffice to say, I think this tank destroyer it'll be interesting to see. It's a 122mm gun, which is nice, on a somewhat quick and mobile platform. It doesn't seem to be super quick or, you know, super speedy. It does have two machine guns, which I guess is nice, but the big thing about it is it's like short, it's very low profile, which is something the ISUs just weren't. And combine high profile with low gun depression, and they're just borderline useless. And here I'm testing the machine gun to see how high it can get up there, and it looks like it could be useful for some anti-air, maybe. Now, the big thing about this tank that I'll need to see is what's the armor like, because it is 100mm on the front and it is sloped and kind of weird, so you might be able to get some bounces off that, but I don't know. Something else that they did in the dev servers, they added the penetration charts for angle armor. So like if the armor's angled at 30 degrees, what is your penetration like? Which is pretty cool. But this is to me this looks like a fun little tank destroyer. But let's get to the elephant in the room, the T95. So I think this is the machine everyone, or at least I'm super stoked for. The T95. This is the top of the tree American tank destroyer at a 6.7 battle rating. It's not an 8.0. It's a 6.7, and I think I'll talk about that a little bit. But first, some statistics about the machine. It has 305, I believe, millimeters of frontal armor on the front end. In the lower plate in World of Tanks was a weak spot. In this game, the lower plate is not as thick. It is sloped back and is equivalent thickness to the front of the tank. It's a little over 300mm. Now, the cupolas on top. In World of Tanks, the cupolas were a weak spot. They were very troll, though. And I played a couple games in this thing, and there was one game in particular where an IS-4 at close range penetrated the cupola and destroyed the tank because the shell sprayed the entire crew. It's designed, I guess, perfectly for that. M103. No problem. There you go. Now the T95, something interesting about it, it does not turn in the forward gears. Or it does not turn in above, I believe it only can turn in 2 and 1 gears. It does not turn in 3. So you basically have to take your finger off the W key to turn the tank. However, you'll notice it turns really fast. This tank rotates incredibly quickly, which you're going to see put to good use. I'm not sure that there's going to be many tanks that are going to be able to circle this thing if its tracks are still, but one of its tracks are still usable. Now there's a T-54 up here in the cap circle, and I'm rolling around to try and deal with him, and he's going to surprise me. But it's a combination of the side armor of the T-95, but also just how fast this thing turns. Bam, I took a hit in the side. Didn't do anything. Oh, let's spin the tank around. No way he's going to get a second shot at me. I fire a quick shot that goes in, gets his driver, sets him on fire, and realistically I don't want to face hug here, but I was just ramming him. There you go. Little love tap. But this thing only does 13 kilometers an hour. Just like in World Tanks. It's tremendously slow. But the thing is a platoon of these things advancing down a street will probably be a force to be reckoned with. Now, you will have to keep in mind that just like in World of Tanks, you need to keep your front wiggling when you're advancing at enemies, because that you want to make those cupolas as weird a target as possible. Specifically the front left one. That one seems to be a very promising target for Russian heavy tanks, just tanks in general. Now, APCR armed tanks will struggle to kill this thing from the front, because the cupola actually has about 150 so millimeters of armor, and it's rounded and weird. APCR might have a little bit of an issue. That was a goofy shot. Now, the Patton actually shot my tracks. Didn't destroy them, but I'm suspecting he's going to use APCR, but he doesn't get a chance to. Basically, APCR armed tanks are really going to struggle with this. Now, the T-95 has 2 shells. There's the I think it's the T-32's shell, just on a 105. No, it's a different shell. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's the T-33 shell. And then it also has an APCR shell. Now, the AP shell is your standard sort of American AP shell. It doesn't explode. Just kind of penetrates in fragments. Now, that can be good and bad, but its penetration charge is pretty good. It's like 230 some millimeters and 10 meters, and it maintains its penetration pretty well. Now, the APCR round, on the other hand, has, I believe it's 300 and a significant number of extra millimeters of penetration. The T-95 can kill another T-95 with the APCR round. From what it looks like at close range, 2 T-95s can actually penetrate and kill each other frontally, which is interesting. It also means the T-95 can basically kill anything. I don't think the Mouse, yes, has tremendous amount of armor, but I'm pretty sure the T-95, obviously I can't confirm this, but I think the T-95 can penetrate it frontally and knock it out on the seams. Well, knocking it out might be hard, but can certainly penetrate at medium to close range. So it'll be interesting to see the battles that'll occur between this tank and the Mouse. Do some donuts for celebration. But I'm stoked about the T-95. It's my favorite tank in World of Tanks, and I think it's going to have a steeper learning curve in War Thunder, just because the cupola could mean that you get one shot a lot more, which might discourage people from the tank, and also it's just tremendously slow. And I feel slow tanks get punished more in War Thunder, just because the terrain is more punishing, just in general, for engine power. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully I can bring you guys some more clips from the dev servers, some more information, and I'll do my best to. It's difficult to get on because it's not like announced really in a reasonable time for me to react to it, and then also it's just not in my time zone, so it's a little difficult. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Corny Swiss. I'll see you next time.